Hi everyone and welcome to today's video. Like most artists in the last few weeks, I decided to give the 6 fan art challenge a go. Now I will be honest here, this one took me a while to get done because I just didn't know who to pick. Well, apart from Simba, because The Lion King is what got me into art in the first place, so I knew I was going to draw him. As for the others, I wasn't quite sure, and this roster of characters I wasn't entirely happy with, I'll be honest. But as you know, as you can see, I kept a few from this early stage, and the thing is, these messy sketches here were done with no reference whatsoever, and I think that's why I changed my mind on a few of them. Nick and the Ghostie are both anthropomorphic canine characters, so they were a bit too similar for me, and that's probably why I decided to change it up. So between these sketches and actually getting on with it, it took me, I want to say, about a week. Because, to be honest, I had a lot of work to do, like with my actual job. But anyway, I kept this layout, I got straight into the lining. Nobody was looking on model, the lines were messy, I wasn't used to the brushes, I wasn't used to Procreate as a whole, and it wasn't looking right. I didn't want that to happen. I wanted this 6 fan art grid to look good, I wanted the characters to look on model, and I wanted it to be something I could be proud of, which wasn't the case with this early roster of characters. So anyway, I got through Simba, and I got to Arcanine. And then I totally deleted it all, and started again. But the problem I found was that I needed references, which isn't really a problem, it's just it was a problem for me because I didn't know how to fit those into Procreate and work around them. As I said, I'm quite new to the program. I wasn't totally, au fait with all of the various tools and brushes. Anyway, so references. In my teenage years on DeviantArt, the whole thing was that references are evil and you shouldn't use them because they're a crutch for your art. That is totally wrong. They are not a crutch for your art. They help you to actually get things looking the way they're supposed to. So anyway, since these are fan arts, I usually look up photos. I couldn't do that in this case, obviously. So I looked up official images, screenshots, sprites, official clip art, despite how off-model that could be sometimes. And I decided ahead of time who I was going to pick. Now that made it a lot easier to get on with the actual art itself, the lining, the colour and the shading. These sketches, I made them nice and detailed. I made sure everything was how I wanted it and where I wanted it, so that I wouldn't have to make many changes when it came to actually doing the line art. You can see 60% of this grid is Disney characters, and also they're all animal characters, and that's really what I liked about it, and I found it so much easier for me. I followed the references quite closely, I will admit that. I didn't take too many risks. I didn't try to do anything different with them so much, and that's basically what I needed to do. I needed to do that. I needed to stick to the animals because otherwise it wouldn't have looked right. I still wouldn't have been happy with it, and we probably wouldn't have this video for another week. Anyway, the sketches are done, detailed, nice, easy to follow. And when it comes to the lining, I wasn't used to the brushes or the tools in Procreate still, but I was happy with how it started to look. When it comes to the colouring, which you'll see in a bit. Now I know about the reference tool and the whole drag and fill colour thing in Procreate. I know about it and I've used it a couple of times, but this time it went a bit wrong. As you'll see in a moment, whenever I tried to colour in Simba's face, for some reason his entire mane would go the same colour. You see it there? So I didn't know why that was happening, and quite honestly I didn't care. I just wanted to get it over with and get on with it. So I used my normal thing of alpha locking and just filling in the colour myself. When it comes to the shading style, because like I said before, 60% of this grid roughly is Disney characters, I used a sort of what's the word, cell shaded type of shading. I was originally going to do each character in the shading style of their respective show, but when it came to realising I only had 2 characters that weren't Disney, I decided, you know what, I'll just stick to what I know. And that actually works quite well for characters with fur, because they look a lot fluffier when you can do the jagged edges in cell shading. And I'm more of an illustrator anyway. I'm not so much realism as I am cartoony. That's not to say realism doesn't have its place, it does, but when it comes to fan art, I find sticking to a more cartoony look is often a lot better. So, as you can see here, doing this nice cell shading look, I tried to stick with a similar light source, I tried to stick with a similar colour for the shading. And one thing I really liked about this bit here with the ghosty is where I actually figured out how to use the stabilizer tool in Procreate for each brush. My lines are quite wobbly, naturally, and that doesn't really work when it comes to something like Procreate. So I found the stabilizer tool, started using it, loved it. I used the studio pen for all of the inking, and I used the round brush, just a general round brush, for all of the colouring and the shading. I messed up a bit with the merging of the layers. I don't know if you noticed there, Lugosi went a bit blank-eyed for a minute, and I think Dodger was the other one where I had problems with the merging of the layers. I treat Procreate like Photoshop. I know my layer styles, I know everything else, and although it can be a bit different, that knowledge really helped here because it made everything so much easier, if I'm going to be completely honest. But that's basically what this was. It was a chance to learn how to use Procreate, a chance to learn how to use the iPad properly and not just the sketches. But what I would really like to do is a humanoid character version of this. So, comment down below with any humanoid characters you'd like to see in a 6 fan art grid. Any humanoid characters at all. I don't mind who they are. I can use references to get them right. But yeah, go ahead, do that. And don't forget to subscribe for more content like this. I hope you enjoyed this. I really hope you do. And I will see you in the next video. Goodbye then.